Hey Scorpio, I'm Lucy Ravenstone and welcome to my channel. So guys, we're about to do a reading for March. I have got my toddler in the room with me next to me, so if you just get a little bit annoying, I apologise in advance. And let's begin. Let's see what's in store for you for March. So I'm using my Archangel Michael cards. I'm going back to basics for this month. Definitely a great time for transitions going on at the minute, but that also means it's been a bit of a difficult time for all of us. Things come to the surface. Having to face things that perhaps we don't want to, that kind of thing, that kind of vibe in the air the last few weeks. So let's see what's in store for March, and let's hope that things get a little bit easier for all of us. Yeah, so far it's very similar vibes to some of our other signs that I have done. And one more card. And this one. Okay, let's see what's in store for you. So first off, do not rush into anything. So the first card we have is explore your options. So I feel like you're on a journey with this card. I get this sense of movement, of going somewhere, but I feel like you have a lot of options ahead of you, and that kind of general advice for this card is to not rush into anything because there are more than one option to take. I definitely feel like you are going places. I get the sense of traveling for some of you, or moving. I was just checking the next cards along and not another card. What else do we have? Just going to pass him a car. There you go. Okay. There's abundance. I feel like I'll show you the imagery so you can see what I'm seeing. So I feel like you're on a journey. I feel movement with this card, like I said. So the card itself, it does mean explore your options. It's literally saying explore the options that are for you. So I'm just going to start that again because my son interrupted. I had to take him out of the room because he was just being way too noisy. Explore your options. So with this card, as I said before, I will try and edit this video so that it makes sense. So if I repeat a few things, I apologize. But I feel movement with this. I feel like some of you may be traveling or move at home, change of something that has you moving, going places. I'll show you the imagery. I feel like there's this sense of abundance around you. It's kind of like the seeds are sowing and things are growing. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting in this for you. Definitely there's options ahead, times for you to really kind of consider where you're going, and kind of pave out a path is the vibe I'm getting with this card for you. So our next card was write about your thoughts and feelings. This card was reversed, so it means pay attention. With the Archangel Michael deck, reverse cards is pay attention. I need you to hear this bit, that kind of vibe. So write about your thoughts and feelings. It's literally write it out. So sometimes we have like a lot going on in our mind and we can't help but like get confused and be like, oh, I don't know what I want. And kind of like writing it down and getting your thoughts down, you see kind of like a dominant pattern. So sometimes we can, for example, if we're thinking about moving and there's so many pros and cons to each side, if we just actually write out our thoughts around it and get these pros and cons out, this Scorpio could be like, okay, there's more pros than there are cons. Or even though there's more pros, the cons are more personal, more in depth. You kind of just see it laid out in front of you. And that's what the writing your thoughts and feelings does. It kind of helps you to understand you a little bit deeper when you are a little bit confused. So that's a really good tool for us to kind of harness. The next card is God is in charge. This is reversed as well, so again pay attention. And it is the highest card in the deck, which just says you're on the right path. Things are happening for a reason. You're going places. It is a let go of all worries because, you know, you're on the right path. That means you're going in the right direction. Things will be okay. It's a really comforting card, especially when, again, we are confused and uncertain. And I kind of feel like, again, this is direction for you. All of these first cards are directional, but again, they are saying not to rush into stuff, and realizing that there are many options ahead of you. Trust in your inner guidance. Your inner guidance is real and trustworthy. So trust in your inner guidance. You know what you want. And that is really just pair really nicely with the write about your thoughts and feelings. When I've been pulling this card, it's come out for everyone nearly in this whole of March. And to me, I see this book in her hand as a notepad, and this has come up when I've had about the rights and thoughts and your thoughts and feelings. This card has come up with it in nearly every single reading that's had these two cards that I've done so far, and it really feels like, you know, you're writing, you're getting them out, and then you're you're more clearer, you're gaining clarity, and you're seeing things differently. And this is your guidance. This is like your angels, the universe, just kind of whispering in your ear and helping to drive you in the right way. Trust in that. These again are cards of saying you're on the right path, because you can trust in the flow of the universe. And again, and actually I just had this kind of niggle with this card that there's something for you to see more clearly, gain clarity on. And the next card is admit the truth to yourself and act accordingly. So there could be something that you need to realize by getting your thoughts and feelings out. It's going to help bring more clarity and something for you to really admit. I feel like this is what's going to guide you to the next steps and move you forward, is admitting something, is seeing something as it is. Again, gaining clarity. Oh, he's at a squealing stage. He's just turned 2 and he squeals like a piggy at the moment. And you're guarded and protected, so you really can let go of worries. It's kind of really cool how these have laid out and come together, because God is in charge, is in alignment with guarded and protected. And again, this is showing that your path is protected, is guarded. This is where you're supposed to go, so you can let go of your worries. Like, these cards are all kind of saying, let go of worries. Everything's going to be okay. It's going the way it should be. And that's really reassuring, Scorpio. Definitely get this sense of a kind of vulnerability with this guarded and protected. It's kind of let your guard down is the feel here actually for you. Sometimes when this card comes, it is the opposite, and it's like it's time for you now to guard yourself. But this is like, let your guard down. You are guarded and protected. You're safe right now. So you do not need to have your shackles up. You do not need to be all on guard. Let your guard down and release your worries and relax into things. Romance angels are helping you. This isn't like saying you're surrounded by love, and it can mean that the people around you are here in a loving way as well. So there's no need for you to have your guards up. There's no need for you to feel edgy. I do think there's something you need to admit to yourself. I'm coming back to those cards. I get this sense of like pride maybe getting in your way, and this can be, you know, by getting our thoughts out, we can sometimes see the egotistical side of the way we're thinking, the stubbornness that gets in our way. So that could be for some of you, Scorpio, kind of something that can help you by acknowledging that and acting accordingly to kind of, you know, separate that from your situations, to apologize when you need to, or just correct your behavior that's going to make things go the way that you desire, towards the life that you are desiring right now. But again, trust in your intuition. I just feel like you are coming into a space where it's going to lead you towards something that's much more in alignment with your desires. And yeah, it's kind of like you're going to get there. I feel like, no doubt. I mean, let go of fear is the next card. This is another, you're on the right path. Let go of fear. Let go of worries. So allow things that are getting in your way to just fall away from you. I definitely get a sense that something is stopping you from moving forward, and I definitely feel this is internal. This is something to do with yourself that's just stopping you. It could well be the fear, but this card is telling you to let go of that, because you are on the right path and you can go forward fearlessly, knowing that everything is going to be all right for yourself. And then the next card is self-respect. So the self-respect card comes when perhaps we are putting other people before ourselves, or we are kind of going without in some way. We're kind of neglecting either our boundaries or just an area of our life that's kind of making us be squashed. And I feel like this could be a thing for you, Scorpio. I feel like you, somewhere in here, I'm feeling like an imbalance of kind of going from one scale to another. And I feel like there's, by being too much, again, you're not respecting yourself and honoring who you are. And being too little, you're again not respecting yourself or who you are. And I feel like this is the work here that's needed. It's understanding the balance within ourselves. Now, if you see the imagery on here, we have kind of like a monk angel wings, but it kind of gives me this sense of finding inner peace and inner balance. And he's, you know, he's respectful with how he approaches himself. He's respectful in and his wants and desires in the world. He's not there making noise. He doesn't need to make noise. People know his boundaries and people are not crossing them. And I feel like this is the balance that needs to seek within yourself. within a situation. And the next card is detached from the situation, and this is reversed. This is again pay attention. So I feel like whatever's going on at the moment, which is having you in this imbalance, I feel like you need to detach from this and look at things from another perspective. And actually I'm just going to jump as well to the last two cards, are both the same. We have detached from the situation and sense of humor. So the sense of humor card is step back and look at things a little bit more lighthearted, look at it from another perspective. It's acknowledging that everybody involved is coming from a place of love. We're not all evil people. Even those that do evil acts have a humanity side. Obviously there's layers and things here, but we're talking about normal mundane life. It's like everyone included in the situation is probably coming from their own version of their trauma, and so sometimes looking at things objectively, taking a step back and realizing and acknowledging a person for who they are and why they are acting can kind of shed light on a situation. And it really feels like you're too involved. I did get this sense of somewhere in there being this stubbornness, and that can cloud our judgment and cloud how we see things, because when we are too stubborn to look at things any other way than the way that we see it, that kind of creates a toxic environment just within ourselves and for those around us, because you're not budging. And I feel like this situation is going to require you to budge a little bit, just look at things a little bit different. I kind of felt like for some of you I did say apologize, like say you're sorry. That can be really, really hard. I mean, I'm a Taurus and I'm stubborn as hell, and saying sorry is a really difficult thing. And unless like it is my fault, then like getting that sorry to come out is just like it takes a whole part of myself, and that's where the self-respect comes into it. Sometimes it's very respectful of ourselves to push ourselves that extra and say sorry when we're sorry. Say sorry if we've done something wrong. And this is the vibe I'm getting for a lot of you, Scorpio, is that this is a time for you to kind of step out of a comfort zone to do what is right in order to move forward. But again, exploring your options. I mean, it feels like different scenarios. I feel like you have options ahead, and this is like a journey, and this is somewhere you're going. And then this end situation very much feels like it's like this is what's been brought up over the last few weeks, and this is what's getting you in this confusing state. So we have all this guidance and telling us to let go of worries, don't worry about things, but step back. And I feel like sometimes some of you may be, because it's kind of how it's coming through, it may be that you are getting yourself stuck into this situation by allowing yourself to kind of not admit things that you need to admit, or not looking at things. It could even be that you're shunning away from it a little bit, because it definitely feels again like there's something hidden below that needs to be shown, and it needs to come out from you. And this could just be a personal thing. It could very much be admitting to you and working on yourself in order to, prevent future situations that are like this. It doesn't necessarily have to involve someone. I'm going to pull another card for you, Scorpio. I feel like there's something more that needs to come out. So I'm just going to pull. Yeah, make a commitment. So this is with the detached from situation, sense of humor. So again, around this situation towards the end, I feel like you need to come to a decision and make a commitment to either make a changes or detach, whatever your outcome to the situation is. You need to commit to this, and this to me is what's going to help you in the, like, it just feels like intertwined with each other, making a commitment, and it's going to open doors for you. It's kind of going to create that movement that's going to move you forward from this present moment. One more. But don't rush into anything. Take your time making this decision. So again, those two cards together, they are kind of really strict with each other. We have make a commitment and take your time to make a decision. So it's kind of like saying, look, make a commitment when you come to the decision, but take your time. No rash decisions. Don't jump into anything. This is the whole going in within and admitting the truth and soul searching. It's a journey that you need to go with before rushing and making any. I feel like the first opinion that comes to mind is probably not the best one, and you may circle back to that and it can be right, but just don't jump in and make any quick actions. Definitely the vibe I've got here for you, Scorpio. I hope this makes sense. I have had to cut you, and I'm going to have to put all these videos together, so I apologize if this doesn't come through. I may even re-record, but we will see what happens. Thank you for being here, Scorpio. I'll see you next month.